Hi guys, I'm Shmi and I'm up in the Malibu Canyons where I've been driving the It's White Noise Porsche Boxster Spyder on a pretty awesome road. So if you haven't already checked out my video comparing sort of the Boxster Spyder to the GT4 and talking about my first sort of drive in this car, make sure you check that out. It's a lot of fun and this is basically the perfect environment to be doing it in because the road down here is quite frankly amazing. I gave a quick sort of peek at it in my previous video, but it literally loops around over there, heads all the way down. And when I was up here a couple of years ago with some friends, Dr. M3, I'm trying to think who else was here, Rob Darm and a couple of others, we shot an awesome video from P1 Pro's drone helicopter. So we have a pretty cool video driving with a line of supercars up this road, which was basically just awesome. So it's lovely to be back here, checking it all out, feeling part of the beautiful California weather and the roads. So yeah, a lot of fun. And like I said, this has basically been pretty much the perfect car to be driving out here. 911 Carrera S engine, 375 PS, manual gearbox, top down, lots of sort of nimbleness and excitement to drive. So loving driving the Spyder. Big thanks to It's White Noise. Go check them out. And next up, I'm going to be swapping this for another of their Porsche fleets. So that's going to be quite exciting too. Now, what's happening today is I'm going to drive in the Spyder over to catch up with somebody with something rather special. So I'm heading to O'Gara Rolls-Royce in Westlake, which is about a 15-minute drive from where I am now. And we're going to see some pretty cool cars there. So let's get on the road. I absolutely love driving that thing, the Boxster Spyder on those kind of roads. It is pure heaven, as you'll have seen on my video before. It's the perfect car for out here. So where I am right now, O'Gara Westlake, is kind of a supercar mecca right now. This is absolutely awesome. So we've got all the Bentleys here, whole line of G63s. We've got a 12-seat Spyder here. We've got some lovely Astons, two Vanquish Volantes, green one, that's interesting. Let's wander over and have a quick peek at that. Around the back of the Bentleys. That thing's a bit mental, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Wide body kit on the 997, probably some mental horsepower figures. Hey, we've got two R8 GT Spyders here, not one but two. Check out this Q Series Vanquish Volante, the yellow front lip, yellow mirrors, green roof, oh gosh, bright interior too, tan interior, yellow calipers. That is very cool. And another one there, and standard. Satin black, menacing Aventador. The Mansory Aventador, this thing just looks menacing. All the satin carbon fibre on the wing, diffuser. Check the wheels, carbon fibre wheels. And it pops big time with those green calipers as well. Anyway, the reason I'm here is to head over this way. So let's go. Past all of the Maseratis, some more Bentleys, some Rolls-Royces inside as well. Let's keep going. Okay, so first up quickly while I'm here, 675 LT, chicane grey. This one has the MSO louvers though, the wing louvers. Those are really cool. Part of me sort of wishes I'd got them, but they definitely work better in nice weather than where it's, well, like UK weather, because they let lots of water come through, which can make your windscreen a complete mess, but they do look so cool. So it's nice to see an LT out here. I was kind of surprised I haven't seen one yet this trip. But the reason I'm here, wait for the camera to spin around, wait for it. Boom. LaFerrari and P1. Now, this is exciting. Two of the hybrid hypercars together here. The P1 in Volcano Orange, LaFerrari in Rosso Corsa. The owner has invited me down to take a look at his two cars together, and it's going to get a little bit better because we're going to go out for a little drive with both of them. So I'm quite excited, hence the very big smile on my face right now. Because we've got the choice of 950 horsepower of V12 LaFerrari, 916 horsepower of twin-turbo V8 P1. Two exceptional cars. It's absolutely awesome seeing these two right here together. It's kind of mind-blowing. Right, how on earth is one going to choose which to go in first? time to press the button. Into life we go. Here we go then, back in the LaFerrari, and this thing is so special every single time. Just listen to the noise that it's making, the V12 behind. It's so exciting, and you just realise how special this car is. You're looking out at the mirrors, out on the wings, and it's just like a spaceship. It's just something else. LaFerrari! Down through some gears. It's amazing. You could listen to that all day, every day. The noise of the V12, it's just totally something else. And one of the cool things we were just discovering is that if you have stop enabled, so the LaFerrari has start-stop, believe it or not, which actually my FF does as well, but when you come to a stop, the way it does it is it knows you're coming to a stop, kicks off the power, and then you're sort of running on electric motors. So as you start moving again, you're initially on the electric motors, and then the power kicks in. So that's the same sort of thing that let you sort of drive it just to park and maneuver around in electric. Kind of cool to experience it and feel it, but I love this thing so much. And I mean, obviously you can't explore the limits to anything like what it's capable of on a road, but it's still so exciting to drive. It's just, well, it's a LaFerrari. It's something else. What a car. It's just such an event to drive the LaFerrari. It's, well, words don't really describe it. I can't imagine it would ever get boring. There we go, the engine has turned off. So as you come to a stop, the engine literally turns off. And then when we get moving again, it will start pulling away in electric, and then it will power up. And it says EE1 ready on the gearbox. I guess the electric motor, first gear, ready to go. Okay, there we go. After starting rolling, fires up and you get a good old V12 start up. And nobody in their right mind is going to complain about that. And off you go. And when you're driving the LaFerrari like this, just sort of normally, it's not that hard to drive. You've got great visibility, even though the mirrors are quite a long way away. You can see a lot. It's very comfortable. The ride isn't particularly aggressive. I mean, we're in sport mode right now. You could go down to wet and it'd be even easier. But like this, it's just a gentle, easy, nice sort of comfortable ride and place to be. And the seats aren't particularly uncomfortable in any way. They're very reclined, so you feel like you're almost race car kind of style. Hey, we're back into electric. And there, it pulls away in full electric. That's crazy. It's interesting to experience. I like that setup. I've never tried it before, but experiencing the way that they've integrated some electric technology, it's not quite the same as, say, the 918, where obviously it turns on in electric and you get, from the go, you're in electric, or the P1, where you have a sort of dedicated button to drive the car exclusively in electric mode. But it does work quite nicely, so it's clearly been sort of thought about. And I think at first people didn't realise that the LaFerrari could drive itself in electric mode. That's something that's come in since. But this is really quite strange. If I just roll out on electric alone, and then off we go. Wow. So we're silently manoeuvring the LaFerrari back next to the P1. It's quite fun to do this. Basically, it's only a sort of crawling speed, but maybe 4 or 5 miles per hour. It lets you move without the engine running. Then we come to a stop, put them back next to each other. Wow. There we go. What a drive. LaFerrari down then, and what a special experience. However, this is absolutely sort of dreamland, because back to back, I'm now going to get an opportunity to try the P1 and see how the sort of two cars almost compare. Although obviously taking it pretty easy today, just a quick run around the block, but it's time for the P1. So let's hear the P1 starting up as well. As well. It's nowhere nearly as loud as the LaFerrari, so you can still hear it properly, but it's let's jump in. Okay, so here we go, P1 time. Got the lift system up already, that's going to make it easy to get over the first bump. This is obviously very, very familiar to me driving a P1 because a lot of it is quite similar to the 675 LT, 650S, 12C. I've obviously done a lot of miles in them all, but what's making this even cooler is that we're following the LaFerrari. So not only are we driving in the P1, but we're following the LaFerrari. This is absolutely awesome, truly, truly amazing, and there's actually, I've forgotten quite how much you can see in the P1. Like, the windscreen is really, really tall, you've got the glass roof panels right above you, you can see a lot out to the sides. It's quite aggressive in the standard modes though, just straight away turning it on here. There goes the LaFerrari. Down goes the lift system. The noise from the turbos, the wastegates, the way it just sort of whoosh goes on around you. We're going to hear a lot more of that. It's such a cool sound. Okay, so the difference with the P1 to the LaFerrari is this thing just feels like when it picks up, it's kind of warp speed with the turbos. You don't obviously have the immediate, well, you do have immediate power through the electric motors, but not quite in the same way that the naturally aspirated engine does it. And when you get moving, you just feel that sort of like push back into your seat from the turbos and the sort of, obviously the torque of the car. And it's really, really quite cool. There's nowhere near the same drama from the engine noise, but you do have the kind of wastegate. So if I go down a couple of gears, well, not lots of gears, because obviously we've got 7 of them. Every time you lift off, you get that sound, which is pretty addictive. You can probably do that all day, every day. So I'm going to press active in here, because obviously I'm pretty familiar with the setup and how it all works. Oh, that was a cool flutter. Press manual to get the gear shift manually. Such an awesome noise, the way the flutters of the wastegate work. And this is pretty surreal. Driving in the P1, following the LaFerrari. The two cars, pretty sort of iconic specifications as well. The red and black LaFerrari and the volcano orange of the P1. This is really, really quite cool. This is where, just for fun, I'm going to press the E mode button. Off the engine goes. And now we're driving full electric mode. I love doing this. Every time I go in a P1, just have to press the E mode button just to experience it. I mean, I've been quite lucky, and I've driven a couple of them now, but every time, it's just a complete spaceship. I mean, both of the cars feel like a spaceship because they're so different from driving a normal car. I mean, it's clearly a very difficult problem to have, trying to decide which one you'd want to drive. The Ferrari, I suppose, is almost a little bit more comfortable when you get in it. It feels more like a normal car. Whereas McLarens have always been a little bit different in the way they do things, so even the 12C took some adapting and getting used to. So the P1, although it's very similar to the 12C and the 650S and 675 LT, it still is a lot more separated from a normal kind of car driving experience. Yeah, I mean, these things are so special, and this is so unbelievably awesome to be driving in the P1 following behind the LaFerrari. This is just mind-boggling. Let's do a U-turn here. How's the turning lock in the P1? We're around, and away we go. Away we go, like a spaceship in the electric mode. Okay. Oh. Engine back on. There we go. Back into active, so we've got manual gears and a more aggressive tone. Looking at the LaFerrari on the road, it just sits so low, it's so small, so it just looks so cool. Both of these cars look so cool. This is phenomenal to be driving them two together. This is a dream. This is an absolute dream. anybody else on the road right now who is just driving along in traffic and sees a LaFerrari coming past and a P1 coming past, driving together, must literally jaw just drop to the floor. I can imagine if it was me and I saw this, I would literally just be like, what? It's, seeing the two together and driving with the two together right now is really, really special. This is a good experience to be able to sort of see them back to back, but there's no way I could ever decide. Picking between the two, just impossible. I put the lift up in the P1. A little bit harder to do that in the P1. You have to do a double action with the stalk, whereas in LaFerrari you just have one easy button. But we're up and back. Wow. Just wow. And we are back. Well, that's pretty special. No more words. Wow. And we are back, and what a special experience with these two phenomenal cars. Genuinely, it would be impossible to choose between them, but my word, what a special day for me, being able to drive first the LaFerrari and then the McLaren P1. Two pretty much of my favourite cars out there. I'm still struggling with the whole big six hypercars, the P1, the LaFerrari, the 918, the Veyron, the Huayra and the O'Gara. Having now driven all of them, it's so hard to decide. I don't know how anybody would ever get to choose. It's pretty much the world's greatest first world problem if you had to decide between these cars, because every one of them is just mind-blowing. I think when you're driving out on the road, the P1 feels like a smaller car. It's easier to see out, easier to position. The turbo sort of spool feel and the wastegate noise is really, really special. LaFerrari has that screaming V12, which is just amazing, and it's the iconic red Ferrari hypercar. This is the thing you have on your poster, like childhood on your, the poster you have on your wall, the childhood kind of dream. And this today has been a dream of mine, driving the two cars back to back. Just absolutely mind blown by this. Very, very special. So of course a massive, massive thanks goes to the owner of the cars, because this has been absolutely phenomenal, mind blowing. Kind of, yeah, I don't even know what to say. Grand Cabrio over there. Those always sound so good. So good. Yeah, this has been mega. And just while I'm here, 3 Bentley Continental GT3Rs over there. One in satin black, which is quite unusual. Actually, let me just zoom in on those so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Very nice. So yes, in one day, LaFerrari P1 and driving the itswhitenoise Boxster Spyder. This has been absolutely mind-blowing. So yeah, I'm sorry for waffling on a lot. I have done more full driving videos with both of these cars before, my first drive in the P1 and my first drive in the LaFerrari, which was only 2 weeks ago in Dubai. So check that out if you want more detailed sort of feedback. Today, all about the experience, driving with the two cars together, something utterly, utterly amazing. I'm now going to jump in the Boxster Spyder and head back home, but today has been truly brilliant. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed sort of jumping along and enjoying this experience as well with these two phenomenal cars. Once again, a big thanks to the owner. That's it for now though, guys. I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers. This is the moment. This is the LaFerrari. Let's pull the paddle, pop it into gear. The touch panel to open it up. Firstly, all of the body panels on the car, except for the doors,